4 weeks ago, I criticized DC for striking while the iron is freezing cold, and now I'd like to talk about the Super Bowl halftime show 5 weeks late. Just admittedly, upfront, Kendrick Lamar's style is not my cup of tea. I find repetitive beats and melodies boring, and I tune out pretty quick. So I knew going in that I wouldn't enjoy the halftime show. I've heard that he is very good at what he does, and he's a very good lyricist, but it's not a genre that I enjoy or really know a whole lot about. So I really don't have any criticisms for it musically. I did like the sets. It was very impressive that they were able to be adjusted as quickly as they were. Good on you, road crew. I love it when you guys succeed. I can, however, say that I did find the choreography to be wretched. It was so dull. Rap and hip hop are known for their dancers. Hip hop is a style of dance. I, I, I should not be able to look at background dancers at a rap show and think, I can do that. You have no idea how basic a dance has to be for me to think I can do that. I watch the cha-cha slide and think that looks hard. Also, this may have been my TV, but the sound mixing I heard was horrible. The music was too loud and it really overpowered Lamar's vocals. And if it wasn't just my TV, I think that most people complaining that they couldn't understand him were complaining about that, not his diction. The mids on the music were way too low, and the mid lows were too hot, and the highs were just way too loud. The background vocals were also too loud, and their blend was off. Like, I think the altos were up a little higher than they should be. Now, I know this channel makes it look like I have no space to complain about sound mixing, but this is a solo side project with a full-time job and 3 kids. I am not able to give the attention to my sound that I would like. And I am not a professional sound man hired for the Super Bowl. But I don't really want to talk about the halftime show in a critical way beyond those 2 observations. What I want to talk about is much broader than that. My wife was watching a couple of videos of people reacting to the show, and one she found was a black man, probably a few years older than me, and he said that he liked the show. He was, admittedly, by him, a fan of Kendrick Lamar's music. But he looked around at the people at the Super Bowl party he was at, and he could tell that it was obvious that no one else knew the songs, and it made him a little sad. He said he felt like the halftime show should be someone known and appealing to a majority of Americans because that's what the Super Bowl should be. Now, on paper, I agree that that is a good sentiment. But I don't think that it's possible anymore, and not because of politics, rather the democratization of music. When I heard what that guy said, the response I had was, who would that be? The biggest pop star on the planet right now is Taylor Swift, but her fan base is almost exclusively female, and that is not the NFL's target market. Apart from her, though, I don't think we really have any transcendent, super popular artists anymore. I am an interesting case study for halftime shows because I am a music snob. I like little of what's current and much less of what's popular. And when it comes to what's in now, I'm usually completely unaware. I think the last song to break through my wall and let me know that it was a huge song was Hello by Adele. And that was a while ago. I am open to new music, and I'm willing to give it a listen when people suggest stuff to me. I have a music to listen to list on Spotify that is over 6,000 songs because anytime someone suggests something, I add it. I'm 2 years behind and currently listening to an opera that I have no memory of who suggested it to me or why it's on the list. But I am listening. I'm also perfectly willing to admit that I like something even if it's not what you'd expect of me. For example, I love Avril Lavigne's first 3 albums, and I could not tell you why, but I do. With that in mind, I haven't enjoyed a halftime show since Springsteen in 2009. I had hopes for the 2 living members of The Who in 2010, but that was really disappointing. In fact, Springsteen and Prince are probably the only 2 that I remember liking. And I don't like Prince's music. He just put on a really good show. All that to say, I feel like I'm a good gauge on if someone is super popular because if I am familiar with them and know some of their stuff, they're really everywhere. If they broke through my shell, they have done something impressive. I had heard of Kendrick Lamar, but I didn't know about anything related to him or his music, and it's been a while since anything has broken through. The big problem is that radio and MTV are thoroughly dead. I don't know anyone that still uses the radio regularly, and I'm shocked to find out that stations still exist. When they did, you could go to the pop station and find out what's new and what people are listening to. And all of us would tune into the same station, so all of us were hearing and learning the same songs foisted upon us by these DJs and record labels. Now we have Spotify, and we can listen to whatever we want, whenever we want, and no one else really has any say in it. Sure, there's the Spotify homepage, but I feel justified in thinking that most people just kind of skip past that to what it is they open Spotify to listen to. And there is Spotify radio, but Spotify's shuffle sucks so hard, I can't imagine how bad their radio is. Sidebar. Spotify, hi. I represent not just America, but the world. And I speak for the world when I say your shuffle is a dumpster fire. I don't know what you think you're doing or what kind of insane algorithm you've put on that thing, but the shuffle on my off-brand MP3 player from 2002 should not be better than the infinite computing power of the internet. If I have a 600-song playlist and 4 songs by one artist, Shuffle should not play all 4 of them within a 6-song span every single time I choose that playlist. That is mathematically impossible. You've turned your annual Unwrapped into a joke. It's not my most listened to song of the year. It's the song that your stupid shuffle played every time I got in the car, and I just didn't fast forward every time. Please, just give us a random number generator and track that the song has been played, and don't repeat until every song on the playlist has the same play count. This is not hard. I'm a JavaScript engineer. Give me 20 minutes, maybe less, with your shuffle function, and I will fix it by removing, if I had to guess, over 300 lines of code. Please, kill your shuffle's algorithm and just freaking shuffle. Sincerely, the entire world. Calming down and getting back to what I was talking about, I had an interesting experience about a year ago. Of the modern artists that I like, I would guess that the most popular one is Jack White. I love Jack White. His latest album rocks. I've seen him perform twice, and that is not enough. His guitar riffs are great, and I love his work ethic and how insanely prolific he is. His segments on It Might Get Loud are highlights, and he wrote the best Bond song. Period. I will fight you. About a year ago, I guess, maybe more, he went on some kind of political rant during a show, and I watched a video response to it, and the guy in the video, who has a pretty big subscriber count, said, "I don't even know who this guy is. Why should I care what he thinks?" I was shocked. Not that you wouldn't care what Jack White thinks, but how can you not know who Jack White is? But that's just it. No artist reaches everyone anymore. There are no universal artists or even songs anymore. I said the last song that broke through my shell was probably Adele's Hello, but that actually may have been the last song to take the world by storm. And when was that? 10 years ago? And then the last one before that was probably somebody that I used to know 14 years ago. That's not how it used to be. We, well, other people, all used to know the same songs. But not anymore. We're all cloistered in and listening to our own music matched to our preferences, and there really isn't anyone that the Super Bowl could choose that would make most people happy. Not anyone modern, at least. There might be some old artists that we could all enjoy, from that era when we were all listening to the same stuff, but they're getting up there in years and they don't put on as good of a show as they used to. That is my opinion, though. Who could they possibly go with now? And is there anyone who could be considered universal? There might be some that everyone would like while they're playing, but I don't think there are many that we could all get excited about and sing along with. I kind of miss that connection we all used to have, and I wish we could get it back without being ruled by DJs again. You'll see me next time if you subscribe. Bye.